Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Last Minute a channel that helps you with every issue you have related to life sciences. It's either the night before your exam or you are starting a new section and you're just really worried about this new section. This channel is for you. So today we are going to be looking at grade 10 sections, and we're going to be looking at specifically the molecular makeup, structure, function, and organelles. And the learning objective for today is molecules for life. We're going to be looking at carbohydrate, protein, lipids, and vitamins, describing the basic structure of cells, identifying and stating the function of cell organelles, and distinguishing between plant and animal cells. So make sure that before we get into this, if you are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification button so that you will know every time we upload a new video. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for committing to this channel, and I hope that this channel is helping you bag that A for your life sciences. So let's get into the lessons for today. Okay, so let's look at molecules for life. So what are molecules? Molecules are chemical substances that make up living organisms and are needed for growth, energy, repair, and proper bodily function. And all living things, for example, plants, animals, and humans, are made up of these molecules. And these molecules are broken down into two main groups, which are inorganic compounds and organic compounds. So inorganic compounds are simple molecules that do not contain carbon and hydrogen together and essential for life. So they would probably have hydrogen or carbon, but not at the same time. So the main inorganic compounds that we know are water and mineral salts. So water's function in our body, it makes up 70% of our body and makes up most of our cells. It plays a role or acts as a transport medium for your blood and all other nutrients that need to travel around your body. It helps with chemical reactions. Water also helps with regulating your body temperature, and it also helps with the removal of the waste via urine or sweating. And then mineral salts or minerals. Your minerals are your calcium, which you get from drinking milk, iron, which you get from eating spinach or a nice juicy steak, and some beetroot, sodium from your salt, and potassium from your bananas. So calcium helps with your bones, make you have strong bones and teeth. Iron makes up your hemoglobin, which is a big part of your blood cells. And sodium and potassium help with your nerve and muscle function. So these compounds, inorganic compounds, are very essential for life. And now let's move on to organic compounds. So organic compounds are complex molecules that contain carbon and hydrogen and are made by living organisms. Carbon and hydrogen in the same molecule. So the four main organic compounds are carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, which are fats and oils, and vitamins. And I'm sure you guys have heard of these words before or seen them somewhere. So carbohydrates are your energy-giving food. Carbs and their building blocks are monosaccharides, and these monosaccharides include glucose, galactose, which is found in milk, fructose, which is found in sugar, and glucose is also found in your bread, a lot of other stuff. So for example, just as mentioned, examples of your carbohydrates would be the bread, the rice, maize meal, potatoes, and sugar. And this carbohydrates are the best meal to eat after doing cardio, maybe when you're running, when you're working out, on a treadmill. The carbs are the best foods to eat after because they give a lot of energy. So main function of carbs, as mentioned before, they are a main source of energy, and they help Animals store glycogen, which is excess sugar, and for plants to store starch as well, and that is the excess sugar, and it's helpful for them when they maybe don't have enough sunlight to make photosynthesis. They can just look through their starch and start eating plants, and same as us as well. And then we have protein. Proteins are your bodybuilding molecules. I'm sure you know or heard of that. Maybe when people are working out, they normally drink protein shakes, and that's because proteins are huge on building muscle. And the building blocks of proteins are amino acids, and the source of proteins would be meat, eggs, beans, fish, and milk. And as mentioned, they help with growth and repair of tissue, so help with your recovery after working out. They also make enzymes and hormones, very good for that as well. Keep you balanced, keep you functioning. And they're also good with your muscle building, skin, hair, and nails. So protein is very much good for you as well. And then we have lipids, which will be our fats or our oils, and they are a good energy storage molecule. So the building blocks for lipids will be glycerol and fatty acids. And an example of lipids would be your butter, your cooking oil, avocado, and nuts. Avocado is a very good source of fats. It's healthy fats, good for your brain. And the function of your lipids in your body, they help store energy. So when you are working out and you're pushing very hard, that's how you lose weight, because all of that energy that you're using to work out, run, muscle, lifting, it's all coming from your lipids, because the moment you start moving very extensively, it starts burning and releasing all the energy that you will need to be able to continue to work out. Then you lose weight, and then you have muscle. And your lipids also help in insulation. Our whole important organs are covered with lipids to protect them from any harm. So there will be just this thick layers of fat all around our important organs. And it helps to keep our body warm, and it also helps, as I mentioned, to protect our organs. And they also form part of our cell membranes. And also, like I mentioned, there are bad fats that if there's too much of them, they can end up causing clots in your blood, and that's why someone can have a heart attack, or sometimes you maybe have eating too much, and then that could lead to obesity as well. So it's always good to make sure you're eating the right kind of fats or lipids. Then we have vitamins. Vitamins are organic compounds needed in small amounts for normal body function. They don't give energy, but they help your body to work properly. So vitamins, I'm sure you also heard about that. When you go to the doctor, or your parents buy you supplements every month for you to take. You don't always have to take vitamins because your body has them naturally. You get your vitamins from all your foods that you eat. For example, you get vitamin C from your oranges and your lemons, which boosts your immune system. You get vitamin A from carrots, which is good for your eyesight. So you do get your vitamins from food, but sometimes some people are not very great at having their own getting, like, their bodies might not be great at absorbing, and therefore you might need supplements. For example, a person who's anemic might struggle a lot with the immune system, so they might supplement that with taking vitamin C. So you see stuff like that. So then we're done with the organic compounds. Now we will look at something called the recommended dietary allowance. So this is the recommended amount of nutrients a person should consume daily to stay healthy. It's like a guide. So obviously it is different for everybody because it would depend on your age, your gender, your activity level, and your health conditions. So for example, for females lose a lot of iron in their body than males, so obviously they diet recommendation for women will be different. Even with protein, women need more protein than men, women need more iron than men because they lose a lot of that protein to help balance our hormones, iron because we go through menstruation sometimes, so that could be a little bit harmful to us, so to help make sure that our bodies stay healthy, and sometimes we can't be as active as we would like to be because of Mother Nature. So in other health conditions as well that are not specific to male or female, just can happen to anyone. So, but this guide, the RDA, it is important to help prevent deficiency and to prevent also overconsumption. So to make sure that you're not eating too little of what you actually need, but not too much of something that your body's already giving to you naturally from your diet, and to also to promote balanced diets. It's important, guys, to eat healthy. I know exam time be stressful, so sometimes you just wanna grab some. Your dinner might be just noodles sometimes it might be just fried chips, and when you're young you can get away with that, but once you get older all of that comes back. So it's very good to stay healthy, and so that you'll always feel good even when you turn 50. You will still be feeling very lively and healthy, and also it helps to protect you from chronic illnesses like we've talked about, obesity, heart diseases, all of those things. It will protect you from all of those stuff, and it will keep you in good spirits. If your hormones are balanced, you won't be depressed. If your immune system is good, you won't be always getting sick, missing out on school or any other activities that you're supposed to attend. You can be great at your sports. If you're doing sports, you are able to concentrate better in class. If you eat a balanced diet, you sleep well, you are able to perform well in school, you are able to socialize well as well. So it's very much good, guys, to keep yourselves healthy. So now we're going to talk about the cell and its organelles. Animal cells, plant cells, that's what we're going to talk about right now. So what are cell organelles, or what are organelles? So organelles are specialized structures inside the cell that each perform a specific function. So in our bodies, there are millions and trillions and billions of cells, and they all make sure that we are able to function, we are able to see, we are able to breathe, we are able to walk, and it's all through the help of cells and their organelles. So I'm going to make an analogy because that's my forte. So we're going to pretend that a cell is like a factory, and inside the cell, the organelles are the workers, making the factory function, keeping the factory working, keeping it functioning. So let's start with the cell membrane. The cell membrane is like the security gate. It surrounds the entire cell wall, the cell, and it controls what gets into the cell and what also exits the cell. And a cell membrane is found in both plant and animal cells. So the cell membrane is like the security gate. It surrounds the cell and controls what leaves and what enters. And then we have the cytoplasm. So we can say that the cytoplasm is like the site inside the cell. It's the site. It is the grass. It's just the land in which the factory is on. And this cytoplasm, it's almost like a jelly-like substance. It's not solid, it's not liquid, but it's more like jelly-like. And within the cytoplasm, that's where chemical reactions occur. It's the site of chemical reactions. It's the site where the work gets done, which is the chemical reactions. And it holds the organelles in place. It's the site. It's where you build your factory. It's where you have your different buildings, different departments on the site, which is the cytoplasm. So I hope this is making sense, guys. You're keeping up. And then we have the nucleus. So the nucleus is the head office. It's where the CEOs are sitting there making the decisions, making the important decisions, holding the meetings. This nucleus controls the center of this. It's the center of control for the cell. What am I saying? I'm sorry, guys. It's the control center for the cell. That's where the CEO are holding the important meetings to make the decisions. And in the nucleus, that's where you'll get your DNA. And DNA is literally the instructions of how you live your life, how your body functions, the instructions of how you're going to see, how you're going to breathe, how you're going to walk, how you're going to look. All of that comes from DNA. And where's this in? The nucleus, the head office, where the CEOs are making the important decisions. So the nucleus contains DNA. The nucleus is the control center, and it controls cell division and activities. It controls how the cell will multiply and what will be the function of the cell. That's where all of that happens, in the nucleus. And if you find one of the grade 11's video, which is about microorganisms, you will note that bacteria does not, and fungi, some microorganisms do not contain a nucleus. So now let's move on. The mitochondria is the site of cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is the chemical reaction that breaks down glucose or the nutrients that you get from the food that you eat into ATP, which is energy. And that energy is provided to power your entire body, power your cellular reactions, keep you functioning. So basically the mitochondria is the powerhouse. It's the generator, keeping the lights on, keeping the machines functioning, working, and keeping things moving in the company, in the factory. So that's what the mitochondria does. Then we have the ribosome. You can check for my video for DNA, replication, translation, transcription. You will see the importance of ribosome. And you can see how it works hand in hand with the nucleus. We told you that the nucleus, it's the head office. And at the head office, there's the DNA, who is the CEO, who calls the shots here, who gives us the instructions of what we're going to do in this factory, in the cell. And the ribosome helps make the vision come to life. The ribosome is the site of translation. That's where the protein is made. DNA says, this is the code, this is what I want us to make, this is the type of protein I want to make. Ribosome is the site where the amino acids and the code come together and it becomes a protein. The code brings all the amino acids, brings all the ingredients, brings all the things that need to be done to make the product. So that's what the ribosome is. The ribosome is the site where proteins are made. And you find these ribosomes either freely moving or freely in the cytoplasm, or they're on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Did I pronounce that properly? The rough endoplasmic reticulum, or the ER, rough ER. So that's what the function of the ribosome. And then we have the endoplasmic reticulum, or the ER. So we have the rough ER and the smooth ER. So the rough ER helps with protein synthesis. As I told you, that's where you might find some ribosomes, and where there's ribosomes, protein is made. Where there's ribosomes, protein is made. It's the CEO. The CEO makes sure everybody does what they need to do. You know your job, this is your task, go get this amino acid. Go get this amino acid. We're making a protein here. So it has ribosomes. The rough ER has ribosomes. It helps with the manufacturing of proteins. protein synthesis. And it also plays a role in post-translation modification. So some modification in the protein, post-translation. Once the protein is created, it will play a role in the folding and the sorting, making sure the product is 100% good before we get it functioning. The product, before it's sold to the people. The product is amazing. That's what the rough ER does. And then the smooth ER makes lipids. It synthesizes lipids, phospholipids, and all of these lipids you'll find this part of the cell, the smooth ER, you'll find it in the testes, ovaries, or skin oil glands, because it's supposed to make lipids. Lipids is like fats, oil. So it makes sure that it creates also steroids. The smooth ER makes steroids as well. That's why it is found in testes and ovaries, because those two organs make steroids. The testosterone comes from testes, and the ovaries makes progesterone. That is both steroids. So in its entirety, the rough ER or the endoplasmic reticulum ER helps with drug detoxification, the synthesizing of lipids, the synthesizing of proteins, and it also helps in the converting of glycogen to glucose sometimes. It also does that as well. But the main function is with the proteins and the lipids. Then we have the Golgi apparatus. So the Golgi apparatus is like the post office. It helps also with the modification and the packaging of proteins, and also with transporting substances within the cell and also outside the cell. So it's like a post office. So obviously we need stuff to be moved around. So we have the Golgi apparatus for that. Then we have lysosomes. Lysosomes are mainly in animal cells, and they contain digestive enzymes. They help with the breakdown of waste and old organelles within the cell. So basically in this company, the lysosomes will be the caretakers or waste management. Obviously in any factory, any place, there has to be people, lovely people that are making sure that the place is nice and clean. And the lysosomes are exactly that. The caretakers, the waste management. And then we have the vacuole. The vacuole is the storage room. We always have to have storage. Place where we can keep all our essentials and things that we need. Make sure we have stock to make our product and keep our company running. So the vacuole is that. It stores water, food, and waste. And in plant cells, there will be a very large central vacuole. So as we said, the vacuole will be the storage room. Then when it comes to plant cells, we have the cell wall. So remember we had like a security gate? But then for plant cells, there's also a cell wall. A cell wall in plant cells, it's a brick wall. It's a wall, like a wall actually. Just it's in the name. It's a brick wall. It is rigid. That's how you can distinguish between an animal cell and a plant cell. We'll get into that. But a cell wall, it's a brick wall. Security tight at the plant cell factory. It's made of cellulose. Cellulose is very hard to digest. Makes it the wall very nice and strong. And the cell wall, obviously, it helps provide support for the cell and also protection. And then we have chloroplast. The chloroplast is only in plant cells, and it's the site of photosynthesis, and it contains chlorophyll. So basically for plant cells, the chloroplast will be like solar panels. If you know what solar panels are, you put them in their roofs. It's to help you absorb the sunlight and use the sunlight to be able to warm up your water in your geyser or for your lights in the house, so to save electricity, and it's eco-friendly. So the cell wall, the cell The plant cell is very eco-friendly. Very eco-friendly. It has the solar panel, which is the chloroplast, which uses sunlight to make food, photosynthesis. So we'll get into now the differences between a plant cell and an animal cell. How can you just identify it? By just looking. Now, before that, very quick, I am not only making these beautiful videos for you guys, but now I'm offering one-on-one tutoring sessions to help you better understand the work and prepare for tests and exams. Each session is 1 hour long and includes study notes and past papers to practice to help you improve your results and confidence in the subject. The cost is 100 Rand per session, but if you're a subscriber to Last Minute A, you get a discount and you only pay 80 Rand per session. So go hit that subscribe button so that you can lower the fees for yourself. If you're interested in booking a session, make sure you email me on the email on the screen so you can book a session. Let's work together to make sure that you bag that Last Minute A. Now let's go back to our session. Okay, so as you can see, a plant cell and animal cell obviously will not be the same because the way we function, reproduce, and we nourish, it's different. So let's look at some key features that will help you be able to distinguish between a plant cell and an animal cell by just looking at them. Obviously, we have to know all of those organelles and be able to identify those organelles that we have just talked about. So when you just look at the cell that is presented in front of you, you're able to tell right away that this is not a plant cell or this is a plant cell. The first thing first, plant cells have a cell wall. If you see that label, it's a giveaway. Or how you can notice if it's a plant cell is that it will be more rectangular in shape. It will be like a 4-corner wall around the cell. It will be that shape. So that shows that there is a rigid brick wall around the cell. It will contain a chloroplast and it will have a large central vacuole. That's another thing that you can use to identify a plant cell. And they are also much more larger, usually much more larger than animal cells. But on a piece of paper, they don't really show sizes. Then when you look at an animal cell, how would you know it's an animal cell? There is no cell wall, and the animal cell will not have a distinctive shape. It will be irregular shaped. It will either be round or oval or just be irregular shaped. That's how you know that, then it doesn't have a rigid brick wall around it. That's why it has this weird shape, and it means it does not have a cell wall. And it will not have chloroplast, and it will have small vacuoles. So we have multiple vacuoles if they are present, but they'll be small. They won't be a big central large one. And I've already said that they don't have a chloroplast. So that's how you will be able to see the differences by just looking at it. Obviously, no chloroplast because plant cells make food. We need photosynthesis to make food, and animal cells do not need photosynthesis. We just consume food by eating other organisms. So I hope this makes things very much clear for you guys and easy for you guys to understand. But that is the last part of our video. I hope this video was super helpful for you guys. Before we end it, make sure that you follow us on our social media. You see that on the screen. Make sure you follow. We post on TikTok and Instagram bursary opportunities, internships for grade 12s if they've just finished high school. So make sure you look out and follow those. Follow us on social media because those opportunities are so amazing. They could help you in the future as well, and you can apply even while still in matric for your bursaries, so that if you don't get maybe other funding that you have thought about, for example in NSFAS, if you're in South Africa, if you haven't applied for it or you have applied for it but you just want to make sure that you don't have any struggles with funding for your university studies or when you're furthering your studies, then make sure you follow us so that you will know about these bursaries and be able to apply when they're open for you to apply. So make sure you follow us there. A lot of fun stuff there. We also have quizzes. Every time we upload a video, we also post quizzes that you can just test yourself while you're scrolling on your phone, and just make sure you're getting some practice time while you're busy scrolling through social media. But besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment down below, and share this video to your classmates because they also need help. They also need that A, okay? So there's enough A's for everyone. Please share this video, and good luck with your studies, and your exams are coming up really soon. So good luck, guys. Make sure you're practicing, make sure you're staying calm, nourishing your bodies, and working hard. Good luck, guys, and God bless. Bye.